Have you ever been told that something as ordinary as your breakfast could be the secret to protecting your body from one of the most feared diseases in the world? Imagine sitting at your kitchen table tomorrow morning, pouring your coffee, maybe slicing a piece of toast, not realizing that the very food in front of you could be working silently inside your body like a shield. Now, here's the shocking twist. Science is beginning to show us that one simple breakfast dish, something you can make in less than 10 minutes, may play a role in preventing cancer. Not just improving energy, not just making you feel full, but actually helping your body defend itself against the disease that so many of us over 50 worry about every single day. And the surprising part? It's not exotic, it's not expensive, and you may already have the ingredients sitting in your kitchen right now. Before I reveal it, let me ask you, how many times have you skipped breakfast or grabbed something quick and processed because you didn't feel like cooking? How many times have you told yourself, I'll eat healthier tomorrow? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I used to think breakfast didn't matter that much. But then I learned something that completely changed how I see the first meal of the day, and today, I want to share it with you. Because if you're over 50, this message could matter more than ever. Here's the oatmeal with berries and nuts. Yes, you heard me right. Not a fancy supplement, not a mysterious superfood from the other side of the planet, but a simple bowl of oatmeal, topped with colorful berries and a handful of crunchy nuts. Might sound too simple to be true, but let's unpack why this combination is making scientists, doctors, and nutritionists pay attention when it comes to cancer prevention. Oatmeal is packed with something called beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that doesn't just lower cholesterol, but also helps regulate blood sugar and supports a healthy gut. Here's where it gets fascinating. Our gut health is directly tied to inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is one of the silent drivers behind the development of many cancers. So when you start your day with oats, you're not just eating to feel full, you're actually feeding the good bacteria in your gut that help reduce inflammation and strengthen your immune system's ability to fight off abnormal cell growth. Add berries, and you take this protection to the next level. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, they're loaded with antioxidants, particularly anthocyanins, which give them their deep, vibrant colors. These compounds are like tiny warriors inside your body, fighting free radicals, those unstable molecules that can damage cells and trigger mutations. And when DNA is damaged, that's when cancer risk increases. By simply adding a handful of berries, you're flooding your system with protective compounds that keep your cells resilient. And then there are nut almonds, walnuts, or pecans. They're rich in healthy fats, vitamin E, and plant-based protein. More importantly, nuts contain phytochemicals that have been linked to reduced risk of certain cancers, especially colon and breast cancer. It's as if this breakfast dish was designed by nature to work in harmony with your body's defenses. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've heard these kinds of promises before. Can a bowl of oatmeal with berries really prevent cancer? And the truth is, nothing in life is a guarantee. No single food can promise you perfect health. But here's the deeper truth. Every small choice we make, especially after the age of 50, stacks up over time. Eating this breakfast isn't about magic. It's about momentum. It's about creating a daily ritual that tips the balance in your favor. I've seen this in my own life. Years ago, I struggled with feeling sluggish in the mornings. I'd grab coffee and maybe a pastry, and by mid-morning, I felt drained, irritable, and hungry again. My doctor gently told me that if I kept up with those habits, I'd not only gain weight, but also increase my risk for serious health conditions. That was a wake-up call. When I switched to oatmeal with berries and nuts, the first change I noticed was energy. But over time, I realized something deeper. I was investing in myself, one bowl at a time. And that's the point I want you to take with you today. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. Every bite is either moving you closer to health or further away. Let's take a moment to understand why this matters so much for people over 50 as we age. Our bodies naturally undergo changes. Our cells don't repair as efficiently, our metabolism slows, and our risk for chronic diseases, including cancer, increases. But here's the hopeful part. Lifestyle choices play a massive role in determining how those risks play out. According to research from major cancer institutes, up to 40% of cancers could be prevented by healthy lifestyle choices eating well. moving our bodies, avoiding smoking, limiting alcohol, and keeping a healthy weight. That's a staggering number when you think about it. Almost half of cancer cases could be prevented not by drugs, but by what we put on our plates and how we live each day. And breakfast, being the first decision of the day, sets the tone. Think about it. When you start your day with a meal that lowers inflammation, balances blood sugar, feeds your gut, and floods your cells with antioxidants, you're telling your body, I'm on your side. I'm giving you tools to fight. The beauty is, it tastes good, it's affordable, and it's easy. But let's dig a little deeper, because I want you to feel the weight of this knowledge. Cancer is not something far away. Any of us have friends, siblings, or even spouses who have battled it. I lost a close family friend a few years ago, and I'll never forget the look in his eyes when he told me he wished he had paid more attention to his diet earlier in life. He wasn't looking for sympathy. He was urging me, almost pleading with me, to take my health seriously while I still had the chance. That memory still pushes me to sit down every morning and choose the bowl of oatmeal instead of the sugary cereal. And here's where I want to pause and ask you, what about you? Do you have someone in your life who faced cancer? Have you ever wondered what you could do, even in small ways, to reduce your risk? If this resonates with you, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn from each other, because sometimes the strongest motivation comes not from statistics, but from personal stories. Now, let's talk about the practical side, because I know some of you might be thinking, I don't have time in the morning, or I don't like oatmeal. Here's the good news. There are variations and shortcuts that still deliver the benefits. You can prepare overnight. Oats: just mix rolled oats with almond milk. Toss in some berries, sprinkle nuts on top, and leave it in the fridge overnight. In the morning, it's ready to eat. If you want warmth, you can cook it quickly on the stove. Don't like berries? Try sliced apples with cinnamon, or even cherries when they're in season. Not a fan of nuts? Seeds like flax, chia, or pumpkin seeds also add protective compounds. The point isn't to follow one rigid recipe, it's to create a habit of choosing whole, fiber-rich, antioxidant-loaded foods at the start of your day. This flexibility means you'll never get bored. You'll always have options that suit your taste. I also want to address the elephant in the room: skepticism. Some people say, I ate healthy and still got cancer, and that's absolutely true. Life is not fair sometimes, and we don't control everything. But we do control something. We control whether we give our body the best chance possible. We control whether we fuel it with foods that support healing or with foods that sabotage it. Think of it like gardening. You can't control the weather, but you can plant good seeds, water them, and keep the soil healthy. That way, when storms come, your garden has a far better chance of surviving. Your body works the same way. When you nourish it daily with foods like oats, berries, and nuts, you're enriching your inner soil. It's making it harder for disease to take root. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for breakfast, remember this. You're not just filling your stomach. You're casting a vote for your future self. And if you're wondering whether it's too late, let me reassure you, it's never too late. I've met people who made changes in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, and they still saw improvements in energy, mood, and health outcomes. Our bodies are incredibly forgiving. They respond to care even later in life. That means that today, right now, is the perfect time to start. And if you've ever felt discouraged because you think one meal doesn't matter, remember this: every waterfall begins with a single drop of water. Small changes add up. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with a twist that might surprise you. While this breakfast can play a role in cancer prevention, the real magic is not in the food itself, it's in the habit. The act of choosing every single morning to prioritize your health creates a ripple effect. When you eat well for breakfast, you're more likely to make better choices at lunch. When your energy is steady, you're more likely to take that walk or do those stretches. When you feel in control of your health, you're less likely to slip into despair or hopelessness. So the oatmeal with berries and nuts sits, not just food. It's a daily declaration that you're still in charge, that your health matters, and that you are not powerless against diseases like cancer. And that, to me, is the true prevention. Remember, tomorrow morning is your opportunity. A bowl of oatmeal, a handful of berries, a sprinkle of nuts,